Hello everyone, welcome back. We have another string review and playtest for you. And today we're talking about what I would consider to be one of the GOATs in the polyester string world, and that would be Luxilon Alu Power. This is the red colored version. It was one of those special releases. They also had the 20-year release come out, and this is the 125, like the 16L, or for some strings that would be considered the 17 gauge version. And let's just jump right into it. What do you need to know? What's the final verdict with this string? And what I would tell you is that if you're somewhat new to tennis, like you've been playing, there's already been a lot of polyester string development, you're like, I don't really want to use Alu Power, it's $18, the string's been out for so long, there's got to be other options. This is a must-try string. I'm still working on my power rankings of polyester strings. I got about 10 or 15 on there. This string is very close to the top, and I'm sure that comes as no surprise to anybody who's used it before. And I would just tell you that of all the polyesters that I've ever used, this one still has this very unique kind of pop off of the string bed that's reminiscent of some synthetic guts. Now, obviously, it plays a lot better than a synthetic gut. You can swing a lot harder. There's a lot more spin potential. The power is still there, but it comes with that increased durability. And I think what's so unique about this string is the reliability and like the consistency off of the string bed. So with a lot of newer polyesters I've been trying, I played with Ice Code recently, I put in Dunlop Black Widow in another string, there's like this breaking in period. The racket comes off the stringer, you kind of have to play with it one time and you're just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this string or not. Then the next time you pull out of your bag, that polyester is settled and now it's playing closer to like what that string actually is, like what I would wanna be reviewing with this string. And one of the reasons why it's so popular on the Pro Tour is you know exactly what you're getting off the stringer. That is for me when it plays at its best. And I used this string when I was a kid, probably 13, 14, all the way up until I got to college, and then I had to find like a cheaper alternative because I was breaking strings every single week, like even polyester strings. That's not really a humble brag. That's actually more of like a testament to like how bad my strokes are. But like I used to really try to just like whip up on the ball, and I would break strings left and right, and my arm is paid the consequences of that. But with this string, when it comes off the stringer, it pops, it plays really nice. It's fantastic. I personally, to this day, of all the strings I've played with, there's nothing that tops that. There's nothing that tops the first 2 or 3 hours with this string. It plays amazing. Again, this is why it's so popular on the Pro Tour. Not only has it been around for a long time, and the players are going to use what they're comfortable using, and they're not going to want to change, but it also, right off the stringer, plays fantastic. There's no break-in period required. You pull it off, you know what you're going to get. That's when the string plays at its best. And that's really all I have to say about this string, to be honest. The downside to this string, and the reason why it's not a string that I could recommend to a lot of people, especially high-performance players, is that after like 3 hours or so, and this is true for me, it will be different for you, after about 3 hours, the string just totally falls off. Whether it has to do with tension, whether it has to do with the construction of the string, that's not important for our purposes. You can look at the lab testings of this, but the string itself just bottoms off and it just plays like any other polyester. It gets boardy. It just is not a fun, pleasant experience to use. And you can certainly keep it until it breaks, but you're going to notice a significant drop off in playability when that happens. So again, for me, after that 3 hour mark or so, that's when I start to notice it. That's when I usually cut it out. So that's why it's not that great of an option for people like you or me or anybody who's not getting paid to play professional tennis, is it's a very expensive string to use and maintain at its highest level. Whereas something like Hyper G for me, that plays well for much longer. And I enjoy that process. I don't, after a couple hours, feel like, oh my gosh, like where's this string? Like, where did it go? And I'll always remember I played a match in college and we were playing up in New York, and my string, it was this string, it just died on me. and suddenly every ball started flying long. It was a horrible experience. The first 2 games I played really well, and of course, me being an idiot college person, I didn't like have another racket with me, so I just used it till the end. But the string will go on you, and when it goes very, very quickly. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't consider this maybe the number 1 string of all time. That's really the big hiccup for me. So when you look at all things considered, talking about how it performs on your arm, for me, it's pretty comfortable. There's certainly a lot of other options out there that are a lot stiffer, that are a lot rougher. Definitely true from Luxilon. Something like 4G is going to be a lot rougher on your arm than Alu Power, and it doesn't have that same kind of pop. And if you look on the back, they have like their little ratings, which obviously, you know, this is something that they've self-rated. But for them, under comfort, they actually do give this string a 9. And for polyester strings, yeah, I'd probably rate it in that, especially now with all the softer stuff coming out, I'd probably put it around a 7.5 or an 8. But as I was playing as a kid, a lot of the newer polyesters were just rougher and rougher and rougher on your arm. So at that time, it probably was like a 9 out of 10. But as you know, the evolution and the technology's changed, I'd say that goes down. They both power and control at a 10. I would say there's a little bit more power, a little bit less control, especially when you compare it to something like RPM Blast. And some of that might have to do with the gauging as well. But that's something that we'll talk about when we do go and review RPM Blast, which I did finally pick up a set of. So otherwise, Luxilon Alu Power. What do you need to know? Must try if you haven't played with it before, but keep in mind after 2 or 3 hours, it's going to fall off. So the value is not there, especially when this is a pretty expensive string. It costs like $18. I use Tennis Warehouse as my guide on my write-ups on my website. So that's what I use as the pricing. I know you can find it for cheaper other places. If you have your own stringing machine and you're willing to, you could always go to like Racket Depot, the one that's at .co.uk, and you can usually pick up a reel for a lot cheaper here in the States. If you're in Europe, it's more expensive because of the taxes. But here in the States, you can pick it up for a lot cheaper. And if you're willing to change out the strings a lot, I certainly can't recommend any string more than this one. So thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Remember, for my full write-up, that's in the description, brianbowmantennis.com. Thanks a lot. You'll hear from me again very soon. Take care.